Welcome back to the dungeon, boys and girls. I got huge giant hands for Halloween. They're better to do weird shit with. If you look over yonder, there's some weird shit. We'll close in on it a little closer in a minute, but this is the test number 1 of the giant, ridiculous, recalculous, analog, semi-analog guitar synthesizer system from hell. Just give you a little idea of what it sounds like. First, we will bring up the actual Now I'm going to bring in the Fat Man analog poly. Bring that back out. This is the K2 from Behringer. Bring in the Behringer Model D. Oops, wrong button. Bring out the poly synth real quick. And turn this off. The big drawback with this particular system is that the Behringer synths do not respond to the volume knob on the guitar. They just don't respond to it. So you got to do your mixing either on the synths or with a mixer. Alright, take this thing off real quick. Grab this thing here. Ooh, looks scary, huh? Alright, so basically this is what we're looking at. There's an old Boss SE50 supplying reverb and echoes or whatever I need. I was going to use a MIDI verb, but oh well, shit happened. Old QSC 100-watt stereo power amp. That's all I need for power. I mean, for down here, 50 watts aside is plenty. Alright, that's running with a shitty Behringer mixer that I've had for years. For such a shitty piece of gear, as people say, this thing has lasted me like, I don't know, 20 years or something. It works great to this day. And then the power amp powers a pair of these customs that are wired up in stereo across the room. The dry guitar is running into the Marshall Micro, the lead 12 stack. And then over here, you got the GR707 guitar. It's I'm really actually digging. It's dialed in really well, pretty much. I mean, I have to dial in the system, and this is not including the GR30 yet, which will be the heart of the digital guitar environment, that and a VG88 ultimately. But for all intents and purposes, and of course it'll be using this gizmo I got from a cat over in I think it was Belgium, I forget, on eBay. But that allows me to use the 24-pin analog synth as and it's got a through, so I can run the old analog polysynth as well as a 13-pin output, which I can run the GR30 with. Actually, it's going to go into a probably the GK 4P or whatever it was, to split it off so that I can run 4 different 13-pin things. In theory, I don't think it'll work that well because of the fact that I'll be using the adapter box there, but I haven't even wired that part in yet. The GR700, very cool, very underrated, and very temperamental Digilog, I'll call it, poly guitar synth. It's got digital memory. It was like one of the first synthesizers to have patches that you could store, and but it's digitally controlled oscillators instead of analog oscillators, so we'll call it a Digilog. Alright, so anyways, and then down on the floor, the EV5 controls cutoff frequency, and the piece of shit volume pedal controls pitch bend. Okay, and right now everything's just all put together like a hodgepodge of whatever available wires and things I had kicking around. So anyways, from the GR700's really primitive, shitty MIDI output, which actually seems to be working fine, It goes up to the Behringer Model D, which is a not particularly super accurate, but a lot of fun recreation of the Moog Model D. This one was actually, I had bought one to check out, and my keyboardist Jeff Bousfield gave me one. It was really nice of him, and that's the one that you were just listening to. I got rack ears for that from a guy who calls himself Lo-Fi something or other. He's on eBay. He kind of takes forever, but the quality of the work, I mean, it was like, took 21 days. I was expecting like 10, not 21, but when they finally came in, it was definitely worth it. Anyways, it goes from the G700, GR700 to the MIDI in on the Model D, and then the MIDI through of the Model D then jumps down to a Paya Fat Man. Kind of long in the tooth, a little venerable, but great sounding synth. This is a true analog. It needs to warm up for like a half an hour at least before it'll start to hold pitch. But it works great, and it's a lot of fun. It reminds me of the days of my youth messing around with analogs that, you know, I had in the past. And then the MIDI through on that then goes to a Behringer K2, which is kind of like a sequential circuits kind of imitation. And it's got blinky lights and all kinds of fun patch bays and stuff. Actually, both of the synths have patch bays. I have never actually really messed with patch bay kind of synths, so I'm hoping to do that in the future. But when you combine all this crud together, and there'll be a future video for once I get the digital environment integrated as well and get all the MIDI crap set up and all that. I mean, I'm going to probably go and use a combination of different devices that I've acquired over the years. Like, I got a whole bunch of like various MIDI things, MIDI solutions, boxes and stuff. I've got MIDI through boxes. I've got old Anatech pocket boxes, which come in real handy. So what I'll be able to do will be, I'll be able to, like, say, use the, and there's a MIDI patch bay, a digital MIDI patch bay from Roland that's in one of the other racks. But basically what I'll be able to do is I'll be able to use through boxes to split the signal off to go and get like a good robust signal to all my MIDI devices. And then I'll use merge boxes so that I can go and merge things into other stuff for slave, kind of use, or if I want to be able to do like real-time control of effects or modulation or whatever. I'm not entirely sure what the hell I'm doing yet because I'm on a huge-ass learning curve. But anyways, this is what it looks like, and you just heard kind of what it sounds like, and it's a really interesting, it's a different world. I fell down the synthesizer rabbit hole a long time ago. And it's nice to actually have time to be able to revisit it now that I don't have to deal with a bunch of baloney. But as it progresses, I'll keep you guys in the loop. Until then, live long and prosper. Always take the left-hand path if possible. Peace. And we'll see you when we look at you. Bye, kids.